The Wealth Advocates simplify the financial world and show you how today's events could affect your financial health so you feel confident about your financial future.
Good morning, Wealth Advocates Nation. I'm Patrick Jenkins. I am here with advisor Ammon Doman. He's a certified financial planner. We're excited to talk to you about one of the great complex elements of the government, and that's Social Security. Ammon, give us some basics on Social Security, if you will.
Social Security is that benefit that's been promised by the government. You might see that percentage taken out of your paycheck every time you get it. That goes to FICA, right? That's the FICA tax benefit. That is getting paid into the Social Security lump of money. That's going to be then paid out to you when you claim that benefit when you hit your retirement age. So that's going to be a monthly payment that comes to you for the rest of your life.
That's awesome. That sounds like a pension.
It does sound like a pension.
But it doesn't exactly work like a pension.
Not exactly.
So if I'm retired today, I'm not putting money into that pension per se. Where's that money coming from?
That money is coming from the Social Security program.
Contributed by today's workers.
Right.
Today's workers are paying for today's retirees.
That's
correct?
right. That's right.
So that's why there's always this concern of, will Social Security be there when I need it? Let's assume it is, because I don't have any reason to not assume that it will be fixed when it runs out of money, right?
Right.
So what are some of the factors I need to consider when electing Social Security?
The biggest factor is your claiming age.
Yeah.
Right. Because you can claim, I'm sure a lot of people have talked about it, you can claim as early as age 62.
Okay.
There's consequences and repercussions for claiming that early. The biggest one is a permanent reduction in that benefit. So that benefit then would be reduced by up to 32% of what your full retirement benefit would be. And that would last throughout the rest of your life. And if you're married, that would last through the rest of your spouse's life.
Okay, so put that in plain English. I am 51 years old as of the time of this recording. My full retirement age is age 67. Most people think that retirement begins at age 65.
Right.
And they're a little surprised when there's another age to consider. So my full retirement is age 67. What does full retirement age mean to Social Security?
That is the benefit that would be paid out, the 100% benefit that you've actually paid for throughout your working life.
Okay.
So that is given to you at age 67.
Okay, and then you used a factor of a 32% decrement
Yep.
if I claim early. Early is what
Early
age?
is any time before age 67.
Okay, so as early as 62 and all the way up to 67, that would be early.
That would be early.
But I don't have to claim at age 67, do I?
No, you don't.
I can claim as late as what?
Age 70.
Okay, so 70 is our cap. That's the maximum I'm going to get, correct?
That's correct.
And every year that I defer from age 67 to age 70, my annual benefit is going to increase by 8%. That's not a bad number, right?
That's not a bad number.
So what considerations should people be thinking about on what age they should claim Social Security benefits at?
The biggest is life expectancy.
Yeah.
Right.
If we knew when you were going to die, this would be an easy conversation. It's just math, right?
That's right. It's just simple math. But we don't know when we're going to die.
And every scenario is a little bit different. But the difference between age 67 and age 70, that 8% compounding growth, if I claim at full retirement age, I could go all the way based on my own Social Security. I would have to live to age 85 before I noticed the difference.
Right.
What does that mean exactly?
That means that if you claim after your full retirement age, you're betting that you're going to live past age 85. That the payout will be greater if you claim at 70 versus 67. So that's what that means.
So let's talk about a couple nuances that are important to people when considering Social Security. My wife is a stay-at-home mother. What happens to her Social Security?
She doesn't have Social Security based on her income. She doesn't have earned income, but she's entitled to half of your Social Security benefit.
Right. So just to make the math easy, let's say at age 67, my full retirement benefit from Social Security is $2,000 a month. Based on what you said, she'd get $1,000 a month, right?
Right.
So our collective would be $3,000. This impacts when we decide to file for Social Security, because if I file at age 62, and hypothetically she were 62 also, because you have to be 62 to get Social Security.
Right.
My Social Security benefit would be 32% less, which is about $1,750. Now hers went from one half of my $2,000 to one half of my $1,750.
That's right.
Same thing happens if age 70.
That's
All
true.
right?
Not necessarily at age 70, because age 70, you're still only entitled to half of your full Social Security benefit.
Okay.
Just want to make sure that
Good.
that was clear.
Really good.
But then on top of that, when you pass away, 100% of your benefit that you've been claiming goes to your spouse. So she no longer gets the half. Your wife would no longer get half of your benefit. She would get full benefit, but then her half would go away. So you get the higher of those two benefits.
Right. So let's go through these data points real quick in succession just to make sure we capture them all.
Yeah.
One, when I elect for Social Security, impacts my annual income. Two, if I have a non-working spouse that does not have enough credits for their own Social Security, when I elect, it impacts theirs.
Right.
Three, when I pass, if I am the higher of the two Social Securities, that matters when I elected because the higher transfers to the other spouse and the lower goes away, correct?
That's right.
That's really good to know.
Yeah. About in terms
Let me
of
just
Social Security.
throw out two things. One,
Yeah.
people always think, hey, I'm so tired of this job. I'm just going to elect for Social Security at 62
Right.
and jump out. And oops, what do I do about health insurance?
Yeah.
Now, I think they really need to take into consideration Medicare before they decide to retire, because Medicare, different than Social Security, kicks in at age 65.
That's correct.
So in my scenario, let's just say I am 65 and I elect for Social Security. Well, that's fine. I've got Medicare. But my wife, who's a year younger than me, does not. So we've got to go find some private insurance for her. If I were to guess, it's about $1,200 a month. Good grief, that's almost my entire Social Security amount. I should have waited just a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Now, what happens to divorcees?
What happens to divorcees, it depends on how long they were married.
Right. There's a 10-year rule, correct?
That's right. So if you've been married for longer than 10 years and that your ex-spouse is no longer or is not remarried, then they are entitled to that spousal benefit with Social Security benefits as well.
This is a very complex web. How do people make decisions on Social Security?
It is very. What we've learned today is that it's pretty complicated.
Yeah, there's lots of nuances to it. There's lots of things to consider and have long-range impact on it. Frankly, we want to help you with your Social Security decision. It's not an easy decision, and it's rarely one you can go back on. You used to be able to. And to compound this conversation's complexity even further, the rules were recently very different. They constantly change. So we'd like to help you with that. If you'd like to give us a call at 435-755-9400, we will help you analyze your options for Social Security. We have lots of great tools. In the description below, we're going to put a link on decisions you should consider when opting for Social Security. We look forward to visiting with you. Until then, have a great day.
Thank you for listening to The Wealth Advocates. Join us every month by subscribing on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or Google Podcasts. You can also look for The Wealth Advocates on Stitcher and YouTube. Want more information about today's topics? Reach out to John or Patrick directly by visiting wealth-advocates.com.